Alrighty, so this is the new customer's Venture. Venture or VMAX? VMAX. It was ratcheting in the chain case. I'm just gonna slip this into my tripod doodad here. It was ratcheting in the chain case, he said. You know, his diagnosis was correct. That chain's pretty floppy. So we're just going to spray it out with some brake clean, get rid of, you can see some of the bits of metal down there. Maybe. Now you can. So we're going to spray it right out, rinse it down real good, make sure there's no more metal chunks, make sure our gasket's all good. I'll set the tension. I believe it's just you go in until it's tight and then back it off a half turn, but I'm going to read up on it again and double check. Make sure these are, you know, that's where they're happy. And then put it back together, and I believe it's just drain the fuel and fire it up. See how it's running for the season and let them know and go from there. So I'm going to go grab some brake clean and we'll get to her. All right, grabbed a can of brake clean. Get out of there. Yeah. That ought to get some schmag out of there. You think? Yeah. No more. But then I'll fill it up, wheel it over. I may even pull that gear off just to see if I can get a... Nah, you can't get nothing behind it to clean it, but I'll get one of my little oil squirters and, you know, squirt in behind there and see what runs out of her. All right. I really got to get better at this remembering to turn the camera on thing. But I looked it up and the spec was you tighten it finger tight by this guy. So you loosen this jam nut and then you tighten this up until it's finger tight and then back it off either 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 depending on what different thing you read. So I just went 1 1/4. No, sorry, I went 1 1/2. Kept it a little bit more on the loose side so that you're not wearing these teeth off so bad. And there's supposed to be 1 inch and a bit of overall chain tension. You know, this feels okay to me. So now I'm just finishing rinsing this off. I've got it. You hold this in place when you've got it set, and then tighten up this jam nut, and then this can't walk away on you again. But it was like 6 or 7 turns out. It was way loose, so no wonder the chain was ratcheting. So now I'm just going to finish rinsing it out. Put that cover back on and then fill her up with oil. I did speak with the customer again a few minutes ago, and he said the only thing he figures it's going to need is fuel. So he wants me to put some gas in it, fire it up. He says he has no doubt in his mind. Neither do I, because it's a Yamaha and these are the most reliable triples to the best of my knowledge in the world. So gas it up, fire it up. As long as she runs and moves and doesn't ratchet no more, that's job done. You know, charge for an hour. So you can see over there, I got my funnel in. Goes down into the dipstick hole. That are the dipstick that we're cleaning the magnet off. So I'm gonna go and just spray that again with some brake cleaner. And I'll give her another couple of wipes. I'm gonna grab a thicker shop towel though, and then gonna start dumping a bit of oil down through it. Oh, you can see a bunch in there again. A bunch of stuff that came off it while I was pulling the dipstick out. tighten it. I'll have to grab a thicker shop towel and get in there and give her a little bit of a wipe. Yep. Don't knock the gasket out of place. Alrighty. You can see what's all left in the bottom of the cover too. Take a shop towel, clean that out as well. Looking good. All right. Actually, I'm going to run a bit of the oil through first and just let it run completely through the case to wash out whatever brake cleaner and juices and metal are in the bottom. What I got here? 75/90. You can't see it, but I can. It's all just running out the bottom, down through the belly pan into my drain pan. See if I can move you a little bit so that I can get my arms in there. You guys don't really help a lot. It's like having your kids work with you, you know? It's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding having you here with me. But sometimes you can sort of get in the way. All right, there. There's our case. Two. Three. Okay. These are just 4 12mm bolts that go in there. I'm using 1/4" ratchet because you don't want too much crazy torque. That case is aluminum. She'll strip, you know. As much as everybody likes a good stripper, you don't want it there. Okay, then you got this little bracket fella here. This holds the coolant line. Oh, and it. Your recoil rope goes in behind that. It's got a little nub in there it locks into so it doesn't ratchet back and forth. Found my 10 mil. Weird. That guy's on. Plug that coolant line back on. All right. I'm gonna go measure out the fluid for here. It does have a dipstick, but this just gets you a little bit closer. You measure out the ounces, dump it down the funnel, and then pull the funnel out and check it. You should land relatively close. Alrighty, what I read said 8 to 11 ounces, so I put 9. And then we'll just give it a minute to drain right down in there. I'll finish cleaning the dipstick off and pop it in and check it. Ta-da! Get a shop towel down in there and soak up some of that shit that's still sitting there. I did take the shop vac and clean out down here before I started so it would drain, but obviously it washed a bunch more schmag down too there. Yum. Alright, so that was the magic number, 9 ounces. It's just a hair over on the dipstick, but yeah, it'll be great. Now I've siphoned the fuel out of there. I'm about to fill it back up with some fresh high test. And then I think it's going to be time just to pull her over. I'll jam some fuel down the plug holes because then it'll be a little easier. Get it to fire and it'll start pulling its own fuel. A little easier than yanking your guts out 45 times on a big heavy triple. And then a little cleaning and a loser lap in the yard in the beautiful snow. Make sure it's not ratcheting in that chain case and everything's idling and running proper. And then I'll give them a yell and tell them to come grab her. Done. Alrighty, so here we go. Gonna pull the plugs out. Ooh. That one looks to have a little water on it. They're all a little bit crusty. Looks like it's running a bit rich, but none of them are lean. That water is a little concerning though. Just a wee drop of fuel down there. Should just put my booster pack on this thing and let it crank over to pull fuel, but this will work at least. All right, got a little gas down the cylinders. Choke key kill switch. Again. Move this over a bit so I'm not smacking the crap out of my Eric cat with my backswing.
In the phaser one.
Okay, awesome. Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah. You can use my black and yellow helmet with the visor if you want.
That's fine. Actually, do you know where my goggles would be?
I think they're over by the deep fryer.
Oh, yeah. Those will be good enough.
Alrighty. Round two. They are wet. Could this be it? I think fuel is there. Well, it's not super happy, but it's going. All right, so 2 were running not too bad. 1 was fouling up. So I got some fresh plugs here. Nice newbies in my other pocket. Slam them in and see if it smartens it up at all. Put my tripods in the garage, so... Oh, man! I'm gonna put my phone away. Yeah, she's not quite happy. You got to keep turning the choke on to get it to stay running. So she's running lean. Going to pull some plugs here, read them, see what they're saying, but I'm betting they're close to white. All right, so we're digging into the VMAX here. I got my cat down off the lift, finished up. It's pretty well ready to move back outside. I only had little stuff to do on it this year. I did a clutch cleaning. I gotta order a new belt for it. That one's getting pretty tired, and I wanted to replace the rear bumper. I got this one off a guy, but it's off an older model, so the bolt holes don't all line up. Stuck it on there for now just to kind of hold the snow flap, and you know, at least you got something to grab if you got to move it side to side. Wouldn't lift the machine by it though. So back on VMAX. This could be our track ratcheting with a combination of the limiting straps. I don't know if I can get you a view on it, but you see, I've already tightened these up a little bit. Let's see if I can get a light in there and a finger. So these guys here, you can see the threads way up there. They were basically maxed out, giving it maximum drop. in the front. No bueno. That's part of why I believe the front was digging in to the track. And the track ratcheting will also be the loose. Now, what were the specs on that? With 10 pounds of pull down pressure, you're supposed to have 1/2 to 3/4 inch gap here. A certain amount of measurement off of the rear axle. So with the track just hanging like this, obviously it is not tight enough. You're supposed to have 10 pounds of pressure before it hangs down, you know, this much. So that's step one. We're going to tighten the track up a bit, tighten those adjusters, the limiter straps up just a wee bit. To tighten your track, you are unable to see it, but you know, right there's a 14 mil bolt on each side, or nut I should say, and you tighten that nut up. Equal amounts of turns on each side. To make sure you're straight, you want to roll the track a little bit and make sure your distance is the same on both sides. You know, make sure the track is running straight. But if it's already running straight, which it pretty much is, you just turn these equal amounts of times, tighten them up until you have the proper tension on here. So we're gonna go with that, and then carb cleaning. I'm gonna pull this carb setup off, go through what the reeds look like while it's apart, just clean them off, make sure there's no junk in the air box, and then we'll throw the carbs over there in the deep fryer. I found out last winter that it just barely fits a set of triples, so you don't have to divorce them and then resync them and all that jazz. So gonna dig into that, get that torn off, and then I'll start showing you the carb rebuild when I get there. All right, I got a little ahead of myself and I pulled the air box, but there's just a couple of 10 mil bolts up here. Screw clamps on each one of these guys. I've loosened the screw clamps on the front, and then your throttle cable comes out right here. It's just one 10 mil. And these guys all pretty well back right out and divorce. You want to leave them together so you don't have to resync and screw with everything. I'm just going to get the fuel line pliers on here, lock it off. And then I've got the choke line over here, comes out, and then we'll throw them over on the carb bench and pull them apart. So I got dug in through all the carbs. I pulled all the jets out. Most of them were pretty plugged. Filed them all out with this guy, and then set some of them in a glass jar with gasoline and ran them through the deep fryer. I let this, oh hey, leave that right there if you don't mind. I ran this just sort of halfy setting in there through the deep fryer, let everything melt out through the bottom. It doesn't quite fit. This choke arm is kind of blocking me, and I don't like to divorce these things and take them apart, because trying to get them synced back up, I've heard it's pretty hard.
Dad, can I have iced tea?
Iced tea? Yeah. Yeah. Do you know where it is?
Yeah.
Okay, baby. Yeah, you can have iced tea. I've never tried to sync them up myself. I've just heard that it's a pain in the butt, and I don't know how to do it, so I'm not messing with it. Leave them together. So then I took compressed air, blew through everything, cleaned it all out. We're the next day now. It's all dried. It's, you know, everything's clean and dry from the deep fryer. So I'm going to reassemble, and then I'll take a video as I'm sticking them back on the machine and how to hook everything back up. All right, here we are. We got our fresh carbs. First thing we want is fuel lines. 2, 3. Now we got coolant lines as well. Because these are, well, I should say heat lines, because these are heated carbs. But it runs coolant through the carb that is hot from the motor. So, you know, coolant lines. Am I going to be able to get to those fuel lines? Just lean that out here. Get a zip tie back on them. Do. Gotta get myself a better tripod. I know you guys can't really see a darn thing. But I'll bring you in for a look here in a second. Right now I'm just using a tiny little phone tripod that's kind of, it's just sitting on a stool. Tallest stool I got. So there we go. Fuel lines and tied off. And over on our far side, see where this coolant line comes in, and I just gotta pull the clamp up, get it tied on, and cut those zip ties off, and then I'll take off all my fuel clamps so they're out of the darn way. Get these suckers married up, get the other coolant line on the other side of the carb set here, and tighten down the front clamps, get my throttle and choke hooked back up, and then wrestle with the airbox. I thought I pushed record, but I didn't, so you're just gonna have to pretend you saw a massive struggle between me and an airbox. I don't know these VMAXs very well, so haven't got the tricks down pat yet. Airboxes are always a friggin' struggle, I find. Except for like Ski-Doo. Older, we've got a 380 formula. That thing's about the easiest I've found. So this is your coolant line that goes to the carbs shut-off valve. Put him back on. I've already tightened up my boots down here and all the other jazz. Put my throttle cable back on. Gotta hook up my coil plugs. These guys. One over here. And then the orange one here. Make sure the others are hooked up and they are good. Double check all our lines are still seated here. Okay, and then I gotta put these lines back up top. Choke. I'm gonna go around the other side to get those. And then there's a couple Phillips screws over here that go into the I think this is an ECM or CDI. Mounts to the side of the airbox. Yes, honey?
I came to help you.
Yeah, you're coming to help me?
Yeah.
You got your shoesies on?
Yep, got my shoes on.
Alrighty.
Oh, there's a little thing.
It's a wrench.
Oh. Can I help you?
Well, I think I'm just about done up here, honey. See if I can't find a job for you, though. Gotta tighten the spark plugs down.
What?
I gotta tighten the spark plugs.
No, it's not nice. And what are you doing with your phone?
I'm recording it. Don't touch it.
I won't.
I know you like to knock that thing over, honey.
But never knock things on snowmobiles.
No, don't knock it over on snowmobiles.
We never do.
You know what? I gotta go get my plug wrenches down here.
Yep, and I'm coming with you. But I'm coming. Oh, you already got it.
Yeah, I already got it. It was just right inside the door where I emptied my coat last night.
I love to go outside. Every time I love to go outside.
Yeah, are we gonna go outside?
Yes,
We gotta go test this sled out in a minute.
yes, yes, yes.
I think I got the track all situated, and the limiting straps.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, and yes, 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 and yes. Yes, 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 yes.
All right.
Yes, yes, yes.
I believe that's all for under the hood here for now. Just gonna give it another once over. Make sure I got everything tight. Hey, stop reefing on the railing. You're gonna fall, honey. Then I'm gonna drop it down, see how well it fires. And then I gotta rotate the track a little bit to make sure it's staying straight.
Okay.
And as long as it's running straight, then I think we're pretty well set for a test drive. What do you think, Squeak? You want to test drive it?
Yep.
Yeah?
Soon as I get my snow stuff on.
Yeah, we gotta get our snow stuff. It's pretty cold out there.
Yep. It's really, really cold out there.
It's been kind of on and off snowing again today. Not enough that I gotta get the plow king out, but snowing nonetheless. Keep it coming. Alright, so got it out of the shop. Took it for a little scoot. The ratcheting is gone. So now we're just checking to see how how everything's running. She's a little on the lean side. Not too terrible yet, though. But the track ratcheting is completely gone. So that's all it was a loose track for sure. I'm gonna go and get a screwdriver and fatten this sucker up just a wee bit. And then, you know, the only way to test if it's ratcheting anymore is to do some high-speed takeoffs. You know, hard launch. That's always a lot of fun with a big triple. Alrighty, so I put everything all back together. Just pulled the plugs, checked them out. They're looking pretty good. Maybe a hair on the lead side. So adjust the enrichment a little bit. But I was running it pretty hard trying to get the track to skip. So I never felt anything yet. Plus side of diagnosing something like that, the only way to do it is by doing some real hard launches. So let's do some real hard launches. Make sure she ain't gonna skip for the guy. See if we can get the old tripod to stay put here.